I'm sharing with you a French dessert called clafoutis. This may look like a rustic cake with cherries in it, but I would describe it more like a sliceable pudding rather than a cake. So join me today as I show you how to make this home-style French dessert that is perfect for cherry season as well as other in-season fruit. Though, spoiler alert, it is not called a clafoutis if it is made with something other than cherries, but I'll tell you more about that later. I will also share with you about the region that it comes from and also another surprising aspect about this dessert that you may not know about. So let's get started. For this recipe, a cast iron skillet works best. You don't have to have one, you could use a ceramic dish instead, but cast iron gives the outside a great texture. This skillet is 10 inches or 25 centimeters. You'll want to butter the pan with unsalted butter and then generously sprinkle it with sugar. This will create a sweet dark crust. Then you're going to set the skillet aside while you prepare the batter. To a large bowl, add 5 room temperature eggs and 200 grams or 1 cup of sugar, and then beat them on medium speed for about 3 minutes. This dessert comes from the Limousin region of central France. This rural area is known for its Limousin cattle, Limoges porcelain, and its French oak groves used for winemaking. Clafoutis was originally made using sweet black cherries, but other fruit is used today as well, such as berries, sliced stone fruit, apples, and pears. But if it's made with something other than black cherries, it is technically called a Flaugnarde, not a clafoutis. It is traditional to leave the cherry pits in the cherries. This is said to impart a slight almond flavor to the dessert. However, if you'd prefer not to do that, you could add a little bit of almond extract to the batter instead. After you've beaten the eggs and sugar for 3 minutes, add 75 grams or 3/4 of a cup of blanched almond flour and a half teaspoon of salt. Beat that to combine and then sift in 90 grams or 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour and fold that into the batter. If you're enjoying this video so far and have learned something, please hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I share weekly videos featuring a European recipe from a different country every week, and I will usually tell you about the history and traditions that go along with each recipe. So if that's something that interests you, I hope you stick around and will subscribe to the channel. Now add in 235 milliliters or 1 cup of whole milk and 235 milliliters or 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And if you want to add some extra almond flavor, you can also add in a half a teaspoon of almond extract here. Beat that all together until well combined. After you beat the mixture, let the batter rest for 10 minutes and then give it one last whisk and pour it into your prepared cast iron skillet. Then arrange about 400 to 500 grams or 2.5 cups of whole sweet cherries throughout your batter. You can put them in pitted or unpitted. Like I said before, the unpitted is most traditional and is said to impart an almond flavor to the batter. Almond and cherry go very well together because cherry pits contain amygdalin, the compound that gives cyanide its almond flavor. But don't worry about cyanide poisoning if you leave the pits in. This is neutralized through cooking, and you also spit the pits out before consuming the cherry. I arranged mine throughout the batter so that each slice would have several cherries in it. If you decide to replace the fruit with something other than cherries and make a Flaugnarde and not a clafoutis, make sure it's ripe but not at peak ripeness for things like stone fruit. If you use stone fruit, you still want it to have a touch of firmness to it so that it doesn't impart too much liquid to the batter. But you could really use any fruit for this. You could use fresh berries, you could use sliced stone fruit, you could use apples or pears. It really just depends on your preferences. And you could also add different flavorings to the batter, such as alcohol or zest of a lemon or an orange, depending on what fruit you're adding. Now bake the clafoutis in a 375 Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius preheated oven for 35 to 45 minutes or until it's set in the middle and golden on top. You can serve this warm or at room temperature. Let's give this rustic dessert a try. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little skeptical about leaving the cherry pits in it and what it means for like the convenience of eating this, but we'll see what I think. I like that. I thought I was going to be annoyed by the stones left in the fruit, but they pop right out really easily because they're cooked. It's not like eating a raw cherry and spitting out the pit. So definitely not an impediment to eating the cake. I'm not sure that I agree that it leaves an almond-like flavor to the cake. I mean, there is almond flour in it, so there is a slight almond flavor. I'm skeptical that it comes from the cherry pits though. But like I said in the video, you can leave out the cherry pits if you'd prefer the more convenient way of eating it, of just biting into it, not having to spit out anything, and then just adding a touch of almond extract to the batter. It has a very homey feeling to it, something like something grandma would make you for dessert, and I mean that in the best of ways. It's definitely got the consistency of, I would describe it like a sliceable pudding. I've heard people describe it as a pancake. I think I would disagree. It does not remind me of a pancake at all. My daughter tried a slice of it before me, and her first reaction was, "Is this cheesecake, Mommy?" And it does not have a cheese-like flavor, but it has a similar consistency to cheesecake. So I think that's actually the perfect description of what the texture is like. I have heard that the best way to enjoy this is slightly warm. So this is definitely perfect for an after dinner dessert. I just wanted to give you all an update. I did not get a chance to tell all of you that my channel was monetized. So thank you so much for all of your support and all of the time you've spent watching my channel. Those watch hours, the time that you've spent watching my videos, helped me to get there. So I thank you for all of your time and support for this channel. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, there are 3 membership options. You can click below. There is a join button, and it'll show you the 3 options and the perks that come along with joining the channel with a membership. But I am looking forward to what is to come. Thank you so much for all of your support so far. I appreciate each and every one of my viewers. If you'd like another French dessert, I have 2 absolutely delicious French desserts that are perfect to bring to a get-together. I have a French lemon tart or a French almond rum cake. I actually brought both of those to a cookout the other day, and there were rave reviews about both. So watch one of those videos next, and I will see you next time.